Hey guys, welcome to the home of gossip. Everything here is alleged, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Put the word out there. Melody Holt of Love and Hip Hop Huntsville announced her Instagram live series where she brought on Dr. Derica Harlow to discuss someone wanting to unalive her and even offering extra money if it is done in front of her kids. So check out the live, guys.
Husband are embracing this new life that God has given you guys, and just like that, it's turned upside down, right?
Yes.
Turned upside down where you're literally in a place of survival. Like, I gotta make sure that we all remain here, that we all remain. And I hope that I'm not sharing too much, but to know, because I've talked to you, to know that with this hit that came along, it was extra compensation if it was done in front of your children.
Yes. The
You
person
know,
offered more money if it would be done, if I would be murdered at my home in front of my children. And I have 6 children, ages, well, she's not one, she just turned 2 a couple days ago, all the way to 15. So it was very personal. And I didn't even know this person like that personally. So it was devastating to hear because this played out via social media. It wasn't like I could get away from it. It, like, when videos were released, it was all over TikTok, it was all over Instagram, it was all over YouTube. Everybody wanted a part of the story. And so I just had to, like, go away for a minute, because no matter what it is that I said, it was going to be tied into this. Even if I tried to keep it business, it was still going to be tied into this. But to know that someone would be that hateful to say, do this at her home, can this be done within the next week? Like, I'll throw an extra 5 on it, like an extra 5,000. Like, wow, to traumatize my children. It's a different type of
it
evil,
is.
is how I would
And
describe
that's
it.
what came to my mind, just evil. And whenever you talk about, and you have to be very careful when you talk about trying to affect
Yes.
because that request is what that is. You're trying to affect my entire lineage at this point.
Yes.
So then, yes, it's very personal, right?
Extreme.
And just evil.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally went through trying to just wake up and keep it going from day to day, and trying to continue as best as you could, manage your businesses, pour into people like you're used to doing, even though now you've got a time that you need to be poured into. And like you said, you had people pouring into you, but in your heart is still community serving. So you still wanted to pour into others
Yes.
while you're in your cup filled, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get to a place where you literally picked up yourself and crawled out of that dark hole and began to show back up again as Dr. Derica Harwell, show back up again as this first multimillionaire in your industry, show back up again as, because people don't understand, when things happen to us, it affects us emotionally, it affects our heart, it affects everyone connected to us. So I'm sure your children weren't able
Mm-hmm.
to get the same mom, right,
Yes.
that they were used to because you were in such a dark place. So
Yes.
how did you get your mental back on point to where you could start back showing up?
So I think my turning point was my baby boy, who's 6. He likes to draw because my husband's an artist, and he drew a picture of me with a sad face, and was crying. And I had always tried to mask that from them. So I would be in a whole nother room or on another side of the house. And that's when I realized, like, I'm not doing a very good job of hiding it. Like, I have to do better. And so I made up in my mind that I was not going to let this come over me and overtake me, because I was when I tell you I was I wrote a letter And I typed it up, and it was a letter saying goodbye to all of my friends, all of my family members, all of my employees, because I felt like I had failed. And I typed this up. Even my attorneys, I have multiple attorneys working the case, but two of my attorneys, one I'm really, really close with, but two of them I'm really close with, I included them in this letter. And I knew I was just done. I wasn't going to continue. And I was getting ready to send out the letter to everyone, run me a nice bath. That was going to be it. And she ended up messaging me. And then Dr. Tiffany Williams messaged me. And then I think Veronica Baxter messaged me. Like everyone, it was just like they could feel it. And I was like, I got to do something different. Dr. Marquita Taylor messaged me and was like, I heard you say you lost your business. You lost a huge portion of your business. And I know you got a husband, but I also know you, Derek, you want your own bag too, you know, to bring along with his. She said, so how about you come out to Yale? And that was my very first speaking engagement at Yale. She was like, she wasn't going to let me not show up. She was like, listen, I want you to come out here and I want you to speak. This is the Yale Black Women's Coalition. I'm going to introduce you to these people and you're going to make these connections. You're going to wow them and you're going to do this, you know, going forward. Sorry, I'm all snot nose.
Oh, you're all right. I am too. You all right. It's all good. This
so
is
I
about release and sharing story and sharing strategy and techniques. Everybody should be able to pull something.
Yes. So I said, well, in order to get my business back, I have to start rebranding. I have to make sure that I separate myself from the situation and make sure I separate myself from the individual. So I have to make sure that I use who I am and what my abilities are. That's going to show this isn't me. This is me. Like we're not the same. Okay. And that was the start of me showing better face. I can say that. And the start of my healing, because it was like, okay, from Yale University, then that brought me other opportunity. Then I spoke at the Black Solidarity Conference at Yale. And then I was like, Melody, let me come on your platform and let me talk about this. I'm trying to get back into my coaching. Let me show people what my abilities are. And Melody was like, sure, you want to go tomorrow? I was like, well, I'm not that ready yet, man. Weekend. You got the weekend, and it was amazing. You know, she was like, come on in, let's do it. And I got to drop free gems and just show who I am versus trying to prove, you know, just really showcasing who I am and what my abilities are. I've created 11 other millionaires, you know. I've done $1 million in 1 year, turn around and do multi-millions the very next year and teach other people how to do it. Like I have these abilities. And so having the women come together to utilize their platforms and resources to lift me up was something that was just a huge turning point, because now it's like, I can't let my sisters down. They bending over backwards to help me and make sure I get here and I do this and I do that. I'm not going to let my sisters down.